Very happy to be with all of you. So I'm an English teacher. I teach English at Christ University. But at times I just bump into the class and I just tell the students, let's learn juggling. Sounds very absurd, right? It's a surprise. But I sometimes actually do. And I teach them juggling. I teach them juggling because it teaches you to fail, to fall, to try again, and pick it up. Juggling for me is a symbol that it is high time for us to challenge the status quo, the conventional ways in which we learn, and we need to adopt an unorthodox approach to problem solving. So after this class, after this session, I would love to teach you juggling. And if you are good with this, then I'll say, okay, let's try to learn this. And then I'm trying to learn a new one called waterfall, and it falls everywhere. Yeah, so we need to celebrate failures. And my journey into the world of innovation started because of a question which haunted me. I was teaching English in a very remote village in Maharashtra, in the region called Vidarbha, where heartbreaking stories of farmer suicides is a very common feature. Later, I moved to Nagpur, and once again, I would see little children in the slums playing near the massive city drains. And this question kept haunting me, that I might teach English for another 15, 20 years, but how will I make a tangible impact on the life of at least one such child? Of course, I do love teaching English, but I wanted to do more with this one life that we had. It was at that point of time that I happened to read the biography of an agriculture scientist, George Washington Carver. His message was very simple. Start where you are with what you have. Make something of it and never stop at anything. And then I decided to plunge into the path of innovation, into the path of the unknown. Fast forward, I'm now at Christ University. This is 2nd of October 2019. And I went to the Vice Chancellor of our university and said, we address him as Father. I said, Father, I want to set up a center for design and innovation for social entrepreneurship. Of course, I am from the English department, but who stops us from doing anything except ourselves? So I set up this center, and if you come to Christ University after the college hours, typically you would see a bunch of students from different streams, right from BBA to biotechnology to law to commerce come together, and we go around looking for problems, deep dive into them. And going back to the George Washington Carver's biography, the most important lesson I learned from that, the power of observation as a key to innovation. And these students would go around and come and try to solve problems. And on 2nd of October 2019, a gentleman from Netherlands visited us at Desi. He was very interested to see what we were doing. And remember, no attendance is taken here. So students come of their own volition and stay there for long, long hours. And all of a sudden, he brought up this issue of single-use plastic straws. And he said, it is such a scourge to the environment. It destroys marine life. And he said, can you come up with an eco-friendly alternative? So 3rd of October 2017, I am walking on campus with the discussion still ringing in my ears. And our campus has lots of coconut trees. And as I was walking, there I saw a fallen coconut leaf, brown, dry, longitudinally curled up like a straw. That was my moment of serendipity. I took a few of these leaflets, I took it to my apartment, and here I brag something about myself. I'm an early riser. I rise very early in the morning. In fact, at 3:30 in the morning for the last 40 years. And also I have a full-fledged lab at home. Only the spelling of the lab is different. It's KITCHEN. So this is just a kitchen, and some of the breakthrough experiments can happen there. So one morning, I was steaming that leaflets like you steam idlis. The best part is that I'm not from science, so I can do any sort of random experiments. And one day I was steaming it like you steam idlis, and in 45 seconds, I saw a nice oily layer coming on the surface of the leaf. I was intrigued. So the next morning, I immediately went to the life sciences department. I took help of two students, wonderful, amazing students, Dylan and Jyoti, and I said, I want to know you to do some studies on this oily substance. And they took it as their final year project. And they did a 5-month study on the, and now I know it is epicuticular wax of the coconut leaf, which is all phenolic compounds, and which is very safe for human body. And the paper straws that you get are actually dipped in artificial wax, paraffin wax most of the time. So here was an agri waste, which was burnt everywhere. And it had such unique properties. And the long story short was that in a week's time, I developed the world's first drinking straws made from fallen coconut leaves. And we can make up to 150 to 200 straws from just one coconut frond. I realized the potential of really making it a product of huge commercial value and provide employment to women in rural areas. But innovations alone cannot change the world. People do it. And I'm proud that we had amazing people. These are two students, Sandeep and Chirag. They decided to launch into the unconventional path. In fact, Chirag, after finishing his undergraduate in science at our college, he went to UK to do space engineering. And he has actually a patent granted on a satellite he has designed. But when he came back, he called me up and said what I was up to. And I said, you know, Chirag, I just developed these straws. I think if we can make some small machines to roll out these straws, we can deploy these machines in the villages, we can employ women in the rural areas, and we will sell the straws globally. I was a little audacious about it, but I'm happy to say that that's what we did. So Chirag had a job offer from Germany, but he refused the job offer and he said, sir, I would like to be a part of this. And then this boy in the front, smiling, his name is Sandeep. He is an economics major, not from a very rich background. And he could have very easily got a job in a bank like all his classmates did. But he too took this plunge into the unknown. And we then started developing small machines to roll out these straws. We did our first pilot in the village of Madurai, employing 4 women. And so we started getting very positive response for the straws we were making. And then Jobin Jose, he was a design engineer with HCL. He resigned from HCL and joined us. And now he heads technology. And together, Jobin, Chirag, and one more engineer, Anup, we made this conveyor system where the women can roll out one straw in every 2 seconds. And now they're actually trying to build this new machine in which we can roll out 120 straws in a minute. And the fact of the matter is today, we got the fastest patent granted in India. And I'm very proud to tell you that never underestimate what you have with you. Have that self-belief. We are now going to get a US grant for all the 30 claims, the 30 points of invention we made is not done across 153 countries. And we are also going to get a patent from the European Patent Office. And we have 5 production centers now across Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu. And 118 women are now employed with us for the past 3 years. And we have been selling out these straws in Bangalore, Goa, Rajasthan, Delhi, and we have also expression of interest from 10 countries for these straws. We are already exporting to Netherlands and Spain. And we also had some other great accomplishments coming our way, which kept us happy. As I said, life is a box of chocolates, and you'll never know what you're gonna get. We won the Mass Challenge Switzerland Award, which was a very prestigious award. So we went there, we were there for 3 weeks, mentored by startup mentors, and there were 120 teams from 35 countries, but we were among the top winners. And it was a proud moment when Chirag, I, and Sandeep, we shared the stage, the global stage, for a humble-looking straw. And then, as I said, life is a box of chocolates. I got a mail from the Asucham, Delhi, and they said, you have a nice product. The world should know that there's a product like this. And they invited me to be a part of the Honorable President of India, Ramnath Kovindji, as a business delegation to Philippines. And now the Agriculture Ministry of Philippines is interested in what we are doing. And this is how we can actually start creating the ripples. I want to mention about this letter. This is actually a thank you letter from the University of Pennsylvania. I'm proud to say that these little straws are now kept in the prestigious Material Resource Library at University of Pennsylvania, properly indexed. We always look west for great innovations to happen. It is high time students like you come up with beautiful innovations and solve the wickedest problems that the world is facing, and the world will come to you. And these were my proudest moments when Chirag, the boy who had the courage to say no to a job offer from Germany, he was recognized as the Youth Ecopreneur Award by no less organization than the United Nations itself. He was invited to Mongolia to accept this award. And this Environment Day, Sandeep, the other boy, he was felicitated by United Nations and World Wildlife Fund for their contribution to sustainability. And then, innovations happen everywhere. So Sandeep is an MA economics student. But now, for instance, we give out these straws to all the Taj hotels. And so we have a very strict quality check. So we reject a lot of straws at our end. And Sandeep, who is in charge of the production, said, sir, we cannot waste so many straws. We have to pay the women. And he came up with the idea of converting these rejected straws into pens. And he is now the inventor of the world's first writing pens made from coconut leaves. And again, it's not a very fancy looking pen, but 36 organizations use these pens for their events and conferences. This is a girl in Germany who always uses our pen. And now we have the biggest customer as the United Nations itself. So United Nations now buys our straws and pens for their events in Geneva and New York. These are the ambassadors displaying the pens that we supply to them. And as I said, life is a box of chocolates. This another chocolate came when I had a call from the Deputy Commissioner of Nicobar Islands. He said, can you come there? And there are a lot of coconut trees on that island. We can help the tribal communities of Nicobar and Andamans. And we went there and we interacted with the Nicobari tribals. This year we'll be deploying it there. But a curious thing happened. I met a young engineer named Greatheart on Nicobar Islands. And he showed me these plants. And he said, sir, can you do something about it? This is pandanus. This is called pandanus. Very important for biodiversity conservation. It prevents the soil erosion. It minimizes the impact of high tides on seashores. And people traditionally used to make mats and baskets out of it. But people were walking out of the tradition and people were clearing it away, posing a great environmental ecosystem hazard. And now because of this invention, we are now collaborating with the Kerala Forest Research Institute and we are going to launch a massive pandanus propagation program in all these parts. And I took this plant and I was able to extract a cuticle and make straws from these. And these straws can stay in a beverage for more than 100 hours. So we are going to position it as a reusable straw under the brand Indian Oak Leaf. So this, and many students come, some of them are interested in packaging, some of them are doing product finalization, some of them are doing the brand narrative, so on and so forth. And then I thought if pandanus works, why not pineapple leaves? So I went to Kerala, I met the pineapple farmers and I came to know that after every 2 to 3 cropping, they have to cut it away. And now I have been able to process the cuticle of the pineapple leaves. And something interesting happened. I took this cuticle to my class, the MSc Innovation and Entrepreneurship class. And I said, can you people do something with this? So Gomati, the student, she took it home and the next week she comes with a product. It is a band-aid, the adhesive band-aid made out of the cuticle of pineapple leaves. Generally they make it out of synthetic fiber. So now we have an eco-friendly band-aid. It has got patented now and her innovation is now accepted by the Bio Innovation Center and she'll be getting a lead funding of 50 lakh rupees to build this product. So these journeys have taught me something very powerful. Innovations don't happen in the conventional paths. It takes place usually in the detours. When you pause, when you stop, when you explore beyond the obvious. You will not always know where these side paths will lead you. But sometimes it can lead you to something which can change the world, which can heal the planet, and sometimes inspire others to take the leap. So my advice to all of you is simply this. Take the detour. The discovery lives there. The discovery of your true inner greatness and the amazing possibilities that can bring. Thank you.